I'm kind of hoping he is okay in traffic.
All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. Start with roll call.
All right, Mayor Rake,
Here.
Councilor Ward Mullen. Here. Councilor Wilder. Doesn't look like she's here yet. Councilor Watkins. Here. Councilor Maher.
I'm here.
Great. And Councilor Carl.
Here.
And Councilor Rhodes is not here. Oh, wait 1 minute. Amy is in the waiting room.
You have to create a waiting room, so.
Okay, Councilor
So
Wilder
that
is in
we have to
attendance.
release them.
And Councilor Rhodes is absent. All right.
Hi, Amy.
All right, we're good to go.
All right. So we're going to start with the bid award for the vehicle building.
Yes, so Walt came upon this. He thought the ORS thought if the building was over 75,000, that that's when prevailing wage kicks there because it was in legislation. Well, it didn't pass, so it's 50,000 is the threshold. So in the original bid, they did not bid it at prevailing wage. So as a government building, we have to have prevailing wage. If it's over that 50,000, there's no exemption. So they had to come forth with new rebids. Bryce Construction, who was the first original one, says, well, it's just me and my son. He didn't have the capacity to rebid. So then the new one that was the lower one was Barker Construction. So they all rebid with the prevailing wage in it. So it is a little, the new, so it's about 20,000 more with that prevailing wage, and they have to provide certified reports and payroll reports. You have to manage that system. It's a little bit different. But they all came out and did a rebid, except for Berkeley Pole Buildings. They knew to bid it with prevailing wage. So that's why theirs was higher on the original get-go.
And as far as the money that the city has set aside for the building, we're good.
Yes, we are very fiscally stable for this building and will support it with funds actually designated for that.
Well, I still think it's worth it to start new rather than trying to piecemeal it together and deal with things over the years.
Okay.
Is this the new amount right here? This is the building?
Yes.
And Christy, remind me, there was a small portion of it covered by insurance. You were either checking that number or I've forgotten what it was.
The insurance would only, with a deductible of 1,000, would only replace 2 panels of roofing on the roof. They would not contribute to the rest of the building. I know you can't, I'm looking at you, but you can't see me. So they would only cover 2 panels. So in this new rebid, we'd maybe get 500. Well, actually after the deductible, we'd get 0. We'd negate. So.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So staff is recommending that council accept the quote presented by Barker Building for the $86,300.
What was the amount for?
It was 68,000. It was, but that's rounded. It was really close to that amount, 68. I think it was 67 something.
Yeah,
So.
278.
No, surprisingly, it wasn't, but they all have small crews because it was a smaller job, so that was a saving grace for us. But it is a good indicator for us that we need to really be cognizant of that threshold. So it's a nice catch by Walt in the end.
Well, I move that we accept the quote provided by Market Buildings for $86,300, the building new matrix for
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, the Buy Carlton Relief Program.
So the governor issued an order that all restaurants close their inside seating. So upon talking to city council, the order was really fast. It wouldn't make it to council. The staff did enact phase 2 where it would impact our restaurants that were hurting. And so it's just coming before council tonight in a public setting for you to approve that we entered into that phase 2 for the restaurants. And it will remain intact until the governor's order is released for restaurants, and after that, it will be released back to normal.
What are the terms the same as they were in the original program?
The only change is this is only for the restaurants,
That I know that. I'm not just-
and everything else is the same.
So it's.
So they get $45 credit once they provide receipts to the city per month for buying from the restaurants. So there is that, it's just for those restaurants. So then they submit it, we put it to their water bill, and they get that credit.
So if I went to 3 different places, I would get $45.
That is correct. So if you go to Park and Main and have a big, huge pizza feed and end up spending $80, you'll get $45 of credit for the month that you supply. So, and it has to be during the time of the program. You can't submit a receipt after it ends when the governor order is listed, or when we reenacted it to get help for our restaurants that are really struggling right now.
So, and it doesn't, I mean, if I have, let's see, I think they were reenacted, the governor reenacted in November, right?
Correct.
So if I am submitting now for December, in December, I'm.
You'll still get credit. Yes.
It's
So,
for November,
yes.
but they'll apply to the December bill.
Yes, they will supply to the December bill. So,
Christie, it's $15 for every $25 spent. So if you spend $75, then you would get the $45 credit. If you
Okay.
spend $50, then you would only get a $30 credit.
so and in this program, for your feedback as council who decided that this was worth, the feedback has been phenomenal. And I can tell you that the restaurants are really having a hard time and trying to adapt to the indoor seating restriction. And you'll see before you will go to Coast and Tavern next with a special request. But as a city and council, I think it's good that we're supporting trying to keep these businesses viable. So,
And I think there's two regulars too that are,
yes.
it's one of those that's been a good one for everybody.
Yeah, I think so too. And it does have some financial impact to our water revenues, but I think it outweighs the need of keeping our businesses viable.
Yeah.
So we need a motion?
Yes.
Yes.
I would make a motion that we ratify the Carlton Relief Program. Water relief.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Next is the Carlton Coast Town Outdoor Use.
So, yes, Costa Tavern is the only restaurant that really isn't equipped for outdoor seating except for the 3 spots right in front. So they're asking for special permission, and she attached a proposal to use the utility strip. I did run this proposal by the city attorney, and so if the motion could be read, if you guys so agree, as written, to make sure that Costa Tavern has names this as additional insured for that utility strip, because the cars do open into it. And it's only active while the governor has a stated of no indoor seating. As soon as that's done, that closes, because that is a high-risk area that, she addresses in her proposal, because we had a good conversation, but it'd be up to council if you guys want to proceed and, let them use that utility strip.
It doesn't, ODOT, we're not impacting anything with them.
Nothing with ODOT. She did have to talk to OLCC to get permission to be there close to that perimeter. In the pictures, you'll see two tables. There won't be covering. I don't anticipate much of a use actually with our current weather climate,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure how long we're gonna be held into that indoor seating. But it is only gonna be during that period.
Well, they just extended us into March, so.
Well, that was
It-
the emergency order. Yeah.
That was,
And OLCC, have they responded to this request yet?
She said she had approval from them, and I had a call into them because I wanted to verify, and his name is Nick, and he has not yet responded. If you wanted to make the motion to approve upon contingency of the OLCC, and then I could confirm with you when he responds back.
On the surface, I feel like we should wait till we have the OLCC permission in place. If ODOT's not a problem, we should at least have OLCC to make sure everything's up and up with them.
the only problem with that is that, you know, then
Two
we're
more
gonna,
weeks.
it's weeks before we're gonna meet again. That's, you know,
Well, if we do the motion, you're saying do the motion and have it contingent on approval by OLC.
Yes.
Approval or confirmed approval from OLC.
Yeah, and then I'll be more aggressive, because then we could do an immediate action for Coast Tavern rather than waiting for reconvening in, January 5th.
Yeah.
But however you guys want me to do it.
Well, if we're gonna wait, we may as well just not approve it at all, because
I think you should just do it contingent because it means the same thing. I mean, they can't take any action.
Until we have that approval.
And that it's contingent and that the city receives evidence.
So when you, when you read this motion, because in this motion, it talks about them adding the city of Carlton as an additional assured. At the end, you would just say contingent upon OLCC approval. So, and then I will make sure that, Shannon, the Coast Tavern knows that.
Contingent on confirmed.
Yeah.
Well, I would say evidence of.
Evidence of their
Yeah,
approval.
because.
Yeah.
You're able to see that everything approved it.
And I think we should have that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, the OLC.
And are there any other restaurants that are looking at that? You said they really were the only ones.
Yeah, they're the only ones impacted, so, Cubase is only doing to-go if they decide to do to-go, but they also have an outdoor in the back.
Right.
I tried to reach Barrel, but they have that outdoor seating in the parking lot. And then Park and Main is taken care of, Carlton Bakery is taken care of, so all of them have a capacity to at least seat some people with spacing. That Coast Tavern just has nothing to go in the back, and they tried to attain permission to use the side of the building for seating, and that was denied. So all they've got is that little section in the front.
So I'd like to make sure that we write this so that is inclusive of everybody, even though they have space. I just want to make sure that it's written that way.
So so this one is just to use a utility strip along the street,
Mhm.
and I don't know how to wrap that up if I have everybody in the utility strip, I don't know if OLCC will do it. That's a bigger,
well, I think.
Right. Maybe Walt will have an idea on that.
I think I agree with Kathy that it's not fair to give it to one restaurant and not the rest. And if you're making it contingent on OLCC's approval for Carlton and Coast, and we make it contingent on that same approval for anybody else that wants to use it.
Okay,
I don't see anybody else wanting to use it.
but
Right.
I agree that way it's a blanket offer to everybody to use it during the time of indoor seating lockdown. So, okay, you will have to motion it that way when you speak it, so that I can act on it. I don't know how to.
So give us the motion.
So it is moved that city council approve restaurants use, so take out Carlton Costa Tavern, use of the utility strip with the city of Carlton named as an additional insured for seating during the governor's ordered restaurants for no seating only, no inside seating only, with evidence of OLCC approval.
Take out Carlton Coast and put everything. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Put any resident. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they add.
What she said. I'll make a motion for that wording.
So, so named as additional insured, and then add in condition upon approval of OLCC. Or condition upon
Do you want to do condition of approval or evidence of approval?
Evidence.
Evidence. Perfect.
Okay, so we have a motion by Kathy.
Perfect. And if anybody wants me to repeat it again, I think I got it.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you, guys. So, we're done a little bit early. We've got 15 minutes. So if you want to take a little break, I have Eric Jensen here and he'll get the room set up. And then, we will come back to you. So do they go back in the waiting room if they step away or can?
I have no idea.
So
Never done this.
we will keep an eye on the waiting room if it accidentally puts you back in.
So 5:45 or 6?
6.
6, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Sandy.
She didn't mention she was going to go.
She just wanted to see you.
Yeah. To see in action, all the work that she did putting these notebooks together. She did come into the office for that. We masked up and she put together all these notebooks. So this is all of her handiwork.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and start this session with roll call.
All right. Mayor Rake,
Here?
Councilor Ward Mullen,
Here.
Councilor Wilder.
Here.
Thank you. Councilor Watkins,
Here.
Councilor Maher.
I'm here.
Thank you. Councilor Carl,
Here.
and Councilor Rhodes is absent.
Okay. The City Council of the City of Carlton will now meet in an executive session in the City Hall Council chambers for the purpose of discussing matters pertaining to review and evaluation of employment-related performance of the city manager. The executive session is held in pursuant to ORS 192.6602I, which allows the council to meet in executive session to review and evaluate pursuant to standards, criteria, and policy directives adopted by the governing body, the employment-related performance of the chief executive officer of any public body, a public officer, employee, or staff member, unless the person whose performance is being reviewed and evaluated requests an open hearing. Representative of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience are excluded. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced, and we will return to open session, which the audience may attend.
All right.
And we have an executive session.
Recording is commenced.
We will conclude this meeting. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.